Yeah, but I don't trust people that have big, beautiful offices.
Yeah.
I like the raw paperwork. Go in, it's a mess. And go,
Right.
okay, we're running a company here.
Yeah.
Yeah, something to
Nice.
think
Put the
about.
stuff up here if you want.
Oh, okay.
There's a picture of me when I was in Iraq. Look how young I was.
Perfect.
That's young 19-year-old.
I was going to say, which one are you? But there's 3 black gentlemen and then you, so I guess that's you.
Yes.
Dude, you're really young here.
Really young, yeah. Imagine somebody going to some country at 19 like that.
Wow,
That young. So
this is pretty terrific. And you did 4 tours, huh?
I did 4 tours, yeah.
Well, we're going to get into that for sure. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Do you go out straight out of high school?
Yeah. I had a full paid scholarship to go be a jet ski mechanic. UTI out of Jacksonville, Florida. And my
Keep your phone out with those pictures.
my counselor was like, "Hey, you're the only one that passed the mechanical part of, I guess, of the schooling." So they asked me what I want to do, and I was like, "I could be a mechanic." So when I went up, we went out to a job site because we was in VICA, and it's the Vocational Clubs of America, and we used to build houses, and the school would auction these houses off to keep these programs going. And 9/11 happened, and we got called back in that morning, and they said, "Hey, 9/11 happened. We want to send everybody home." So 9/12. I roll up my beat up old Bronco, and we have this like corridor that has like a roof area in it, and there's all these recruiters lined up: Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, Marines, and everybody was lining up in the Army or they was lining up in the Navy. I was like the only person that lined up in the Marine Corps. I was the only one that went to boot camp. So they did a program for me. They said, "Hey, instead of going through high school, we're going to allow you to go to a work program. We're going to send you to the Marine Corps. You got to graduate the Marine Corps, and then when you get out of graduating the Marine Corps, we'll give you your graduation, like your high school diploma." So I went off to boot camp, and then I graduated boot camp in April, and then I got my diploma and stuff, wearing my dress blues.
Listen, I appreciate you guys coming in today.
Thank you.
Oh,
Dennis Ruff and Martin Acosta from Brother in Armed Security. I appreciate you guys coming from really San Diego, right? You guys appreciate you guys. I wanted you both to come in because you both have unique backgrounds, very different backgrounds. And then you jump into security business. But I'm going to start with you, Dennis. A lot of people, let's start from you in the very beginning, if you don't mind. Let's go with, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your background. Where you were raised. I always do this with everybody,
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about you, then Martin. We'll just kind of go back and forth here.
Okay. Well, again, I appreciate you bringing us on here. And I'm originally from Arkansas. I grew up there. I joined the Marine Corps when I was 19. I spent 12 years, and then I spent 4 years in combat, and then I got injured. They said that I could no longer be a Marine, so I became medically retired. And then I met up with Martin, and we opened up a company where, from sisters and stuff. So we opened up a business, and we've been doing it for 11 years now.
11 years. Let's go back to your military a little bit. That's interesting. Tell about your family. With your father.
My father, to be truthful, was a draft dodger. He didn't want to go to NAM. My uncle, he did go to Germany. He wanted to go to NAM, and he signed up to be infantry in the Army. And he got excited about going to NAM, and then they told him he's going to guard a firehouse in Germany. He wasn't too thrilled about that, so they had the 2-year tours back then. So back in that, my family only had me and my uncle, and that was it, who served in the military.
What made you want to go to the military? Was that the 911 period?
Yes, it's 9/11.
9/11? Okay.
Yes, 9/11.
911. You can tell I'm an ex-cop, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's 9/11, and I go 911. Okay,
Right.
Go ahead.
So at 9/11, the 9/11 happened and stuff. And 9/12, I signed up to be in the Marine Corps. It was I guess, I wouldn't say luck of draw, but it was just a change in career. I wanted to be something like a mechanic or something, and I had full paid scholarship. And 9/12, they started recruiting people for upping the Marine Corps, the Army, for people to start getting the numbers up for Iraq and Afghanistan's push. So I signed up, gave up my scholarship, joined the Marine Corps, and I don't regret it. I loved every bit of it. I wish I could have retired, but there's things change, and it was unfortunate for stuff. Again, it was at a time in the period that I really enjoyed. I spent 2 years in Iraq, 2 years in Afghanistan,
So you did 4 tours.
I did 4 tours, yes, and I spent 8 to 10 months each. I was a combat engineer. We was in charge of building tops and fobs for different units to go out there.
What is that actually?
Like a combat outpost, it was forward operating bases for MARSOC and Delta Force and main units like wing units and stuff like that they need to operate out of. Basically, if you go from Al-Anbar province or something, from FOB Leatherneck out there, they want to put a COP or FOB White House or something out there so that they can be able to work off of that in the middle of Singin Valley or something like that. The same with different units out of Iraq and stuff. They was in out to Kadum and would push out to like Baghdad or would push out to Al-Assad or something like that. So they have different FOBs, and we would go out there and we would clear the areas. And then we would have our combat engineers. I was an engineer equipment operator, so we would go out there and build roads. We'd basically build different areas for these individuals.
Yeah, fantastic. So 4 tours. I'm going to thank you for that.
Yes.
Now I know why you're so calm running this business. We talk all the time.
Yes.
You're always calm. And your partnerships are very unique. Both when I met you guys at your office there, you guys have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Martin. Just go back with you a little bit. Family, all the way up to how you got involved.
I'm originally from Guanajuato, Mexico. I was born in 81. My mom was left with my dad before I was even born. So I met my dad when I was like 21. But my mom decided to give a better life to me, so she decided to migrate to the States. So I migrated here when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Arriving here was tough, obviously, different language, different culture. Living in a house with 10 people. It was tough.
10 people?
Yeah. On a 1-bedroom apartment when we first got here. And then moving on, we rented a living room. So it was my mom on my couch, my uncle on another, and me on another as a little kid. So it was good. It was a different change. It was tough. But at a young age, I was in a way, not forced, but in a way forced to be more mature at a younger age. So I got into sales at a very young age. I started like selling chocolates and stuff like that door to door. So for me, sales is something that I've been doing, I guess, for the longest time, preparing me for this type of stuff. It was tough, but at the end of the day, life is tough in general. But knowing that my mom sacrificed to come over here, the least thing that I can do for my mom was represent to her that I was worth it and prove my dad wrong, that he messed up on the decisions that he made.
Man, you know what? That's an awesome story. So tell me, I want to hang on there for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. So what state did
Guanajuato.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved in. How many people you said were with you?
When we first got here, it was at least 10 plus people in a 1-bedroom apartment in Fallbrook. I arrived in Fallbrook in 88, 89.
Yeah, Fallbrook was pretty much almost a desert, right, back then? Or Fallbrook is nice, right?
Yeah. It's a small little town.
Okay.
Small little town that's next to Camp Pendleton.
Okay.
That area, yeah.
Brothers and sisters?
It's only me for my mom and dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big move. So continue, please.
That's what ended up happening, that I just wanted to prove that my dad messed up. With that being said, wherever we lived, I lived in all the ghettos you can imagine. I lived in a lot of gangbanging areas. But my stepdad, my mom got married when I was 9. He's from Oaxaca. I'm very appreciative of the guy, but he was very strict. He's the type of guy that would be like, hey, before you eat in the morning, you got to wake up and sweep the actual sidewalk. I want that thing clean. I was like, okay. He would take me landscaping, and I used to hate it. And one thing he used to say all the time, you got to do work with love. You got to do it with love or else. I was like, this is not for me, dude. So we were like oil and water, but he deterred all the gangbangers in the area and forced me to find ways to generate money. So when I was 11, I was making about $50 a day just selling chocolates. And that's how I got into the industry of just wanting to sell. With that being said, I was living in a gang, but my main mentality was I can't let my mom down. So I graduated with high honors from high school myself in 99 from El Camino High School in Oceanside. So my biggest thing was always I can't let my mom down. And that was one of my biggest motors to just make her proud.
Wow. So your mom, I could just tell it's very emotional. Is your mom still living today?
Yes.
Very good. Says a lot about your mom, really does. And definitely a lot of love. Your mom worked her butt off, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, for you to turn out the way you did, that's fantastic. I got to ask you, what kind of chocolates were you selling to make $50 a day?
So what happened is there used to be a company that would pick us up, and we would sell peanut brittle, hot teas, chocolates. So it's a big old box with 50 items. And every item I sold was $2 that I would make profit on it. So I would go crazy door to door. They would pick us up, drop us off in a neighborhood, whether it be apartment complex or whatever, door to door knocking and just throwing my spill out there. And I was one of the top salesmen there too. They ended up giving us a trip to, I think it was the Grand Canyon in Lake Mojave at the age of 12 or 13. We were in the casino just eating breakfast at the buffet and then taking us to the river and stuff. So that was one of my things that I did. And then after that, I got into selling newspaper subscriptions for North County Times. I was also one of the top salesmen there too. So it was always fun. And it kept me away from trouble because I would have to wait like my own job to go make some money. And I never asked my dad for money or my stepdad or my mom or my uncles. It was always just...
You had your own.
I had my own stuff, and I've always been like that since a little kid.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. When you were a little kid, did you tell yourself, I want to be an entrepreneur? Did you even know what that meant? Did you have an idea where you wanted to go or what you wanted to do?
What in reality, no. When I first got my first actual job working at Jack in the Box, I realized like I was making more money just selling stuff as a kid than I'm doing right now as an hourly. But you get into that mindset that you got to go to college and get a degree and go to school and stuff like that. But that's when I was an engineer for the government as a contractor. But my buddies are, let's try real estate. You have both languages, you'll do good. And that's where it came back to me again, saying sales is my thing. I can't be at a 9-to-5 job.
You know where I thought this was going to go? He's selling chocolates, and you go, yeah, he's a good-looking guy. He's very well-dressed. And then I got into rock cocaine. It was a perfect start, right? But then I got clean. Oh, so you kept clean all the way through. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Working to ghetto, that's pretty hard.
No, it is. It is. All my friends, I still go back, and they're like, damn, you really made the right decisions. I was like, you got to work hard when you're young so you can enjoy it when you're a little bit older. So I had my kids when I was 30-some years old, so I already had an established foundation. So that's when I felt like it was time to go. But yeah, it was tough. But again, my stepdad had a lot to do with it, and my mom's just telling me, just focus on what you got to do. Yeah.
Were you good at saving, too, as a kid?
I'm pretty good at financing, yeah.
Yeah, because you're the finance guy right now. I noticed that. You're pretty good with your budget, too.
Yeah, I'm the type of guy that it's just, I check the bank every day because it's just like a girl, if you don't check on them, they'll leave. So I got to make sure that everything's on point, that we're working it the right way. But yeah, money has always been something that I've been pretty good with managing, yeah.
That's great. You have 2 children?
Yeah, I have a 6-year-old boy and a 10-year-old daughter.
So are they getting up at 7 o'clock sweeping the sidewalk? Just curious.
No, I give them different chores, but they're very responsible, doing very good in school too. So
Yeah, they seem like really good kids. I saw that day I was at your office.
yeah.
You guys both did real well. Are you married, Martin? Or not, Dennis?
I'm divorced.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah, we've all been down that road.
Yes.
Got to try it once.
Right.
Try it once. Was that military? Did you get married when you were in the military?
Yes, it was 2012, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 2012 when I got married. Yeah. So it was 2012, and then was it 15? I think when we got divorced, and then it's his cousins and stuff.
So her daughter is obviously his ex-wife is my wife's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys are really keeping it in the family, huh? And you're still talking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we're closer now than when he was there with her at first. It's just because we started to understand that after we took the Tony Robbins, we took a course with them, and they were like, "Your business is like a child. Where is he? An infant, a toddler, or he's all over the place?" So that's what we started taking it even to a different step, where it's like we need to get involved 100% and run the business the way it needs to be ran.
Okay, so let's give Tony Robbins a plug here real quick.
Okay.
What made you go there? Obviously, outside of the social media and all that, did you?
was-
Is it really everything?
Yeah.
Is it everything?
Oh no,
It
go ahead,
It's pretty.
Dennis.
No, Martin, you can go ahead, gentlemen.
I've always been into a positive energy, positive mindset of making things, having dreams, law of attraction, all that type of stuff. That came across. I don't even know how the hell I got it. It came across to me that the event wasn't available, an event. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take it. But it was only for one person. So literally, it was like was it a 5-day thing?
Yeah, 5 days.
5
yeah.
thing, like literally. So I stayed at home for those 5 days, but it was only one ticket. And I told Dennis, hey, bro, we got to get on this crap real quick. Let me go ahead and FaceTime you. So I had another phone. He was watching it on the big screen. So we were double dipping in a way. And
So you didn't go to the event. This was online.
it
Yeah,
was an
online,
online
yes,
event,
online
yes.
event,
We have
yeah.
one coming up literally this coming year that I signed up for. He doesn't know yet, but
Yeah.
I guess I broke the news to him, yeah. So right there, I guess that's where Dennis also understood that the importance of taking the business to the next level and start marketing ourselves back again. Dennis,
Yeah.
you can talk about what you learned from it. You know?
They teach you a lot of things, especially as business owners. We never knew anything about business. I don't know anything about business. I come from a poor family that lived out on a farm, and then now I'm a business owner. I come from the Marine Corps that we're leading troops or doing different things like that. But then come out here and you try to do a business, it's just you're gonna fall flat on your face, or you're just gonna pick yourself up every time you fall down. So
Yeah, the Marine Corps. What is it? Pray, eat, destroy. What is it?
Yeah.
What is that? What's that?
honor, courage, commitment. So you have the courage to do stuff. You have a commitment to do it. And you just stay honorable to it.
That's great. So you guys. So how long have you known each other now?
About 13 years now.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
13 years.
13
And
years.
I don't know if it's, how did that come about? How did you guys meet?
When I was with Hilda, I didn't really associate myself with Martin and them until one day I came up to his phone repair place. I don't know what he was doing. And I seen his business card there. I was like, oh, you do security stuff? Because I tried to sign up for the Oceanside PD, and they said that I don't have a very good degree or I couldn't write very well or something like that. And I was like, all right, then I guess I need to try something else because I was to the point of retirement because of my injuries and stuff. So I went over there for something. I don't know what it was, for a phone or something, and seen his card. And then we started talking, and I had done 2 years as a military police officer. So to get your license, you have to have a Leo background or something like that, or have somebody sign off. And so I went to my commanding officer and had him sign off on my packets, stuff like that. So I failed the test a couple times because I'm not very smart at it, but I got my PPO license to begin in 2014, and then we started our company and stuff.
Yeah, and then the thing with him is that I started the security company with my first partner in 2008, 2009. And we were doing pretty good, but my partner ended up spending more money than he should. And he was taking care of a certain location. I was taking care of another location. He lost his accounts because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to. So he came back and he's like, you know what? Business is business. I need my accounts back, and we got to figure things out. And I was like, hold on. I held him for 2 years, and you just come and take it. It's not going to work out that way. So we ended up separating. He presented me to another guy that he taught me how to get accounts and stuff like that. But this guy turned out to be a complete, what would you call it, fraud. I had at that point, that was in 2000, what was it, 2013? 2012, 2013. I got a letter from the IRS cease and desist and BSIS because it wasn't being done correctly. So at that point, the thing that sustained me was my little computer repair shop that I've had. But Dennis went to one of the meetings with my ex-partner, and then I told Dennis, look, bro, I don't have anybody that can sign me off because I don't know anybody at PPO that's going to just say, yeah, let me go ahead and sign you off to get your PPO license. So I told Dennis at that point, hey, you were MP for a while. Why don't you go ahead and have somebody sign you off? So he's all, yeah, because at that point, too, he had just gone out, and I think it was more than a year, and you still were not getting your severance pay, right? That was
Going pretty well, yeah.
Yeah. So it came to the point where he was not going to have a job, like after he was going to get completed, right? Out of the military. And then I told him, look, bro, if we get this business, I know how to get in. I know what to do. So he's studying. He said he's failed a few times. But then when he passed it, I already had a few accounts that I had told him, hey, hold off on me till I get my stuff because I have really good relationships. So I get your stuff when you're ready, come back and we'll go ahead and switch you out, no problem. And that's where we started with what I think is like 4 or 5 contracts that they came back with me. And then on the way to the house one day, once he passed the test, they're like, we got to think about a name for the company. And then I told him it has to be something that kind of embraces every branch of the government. And I'm like, why don't we just call it Brothers in Armed Security? He's like, you know what? I like that name. I think it's a very good name. And then he's the one that came up with the logo, American flag and everything. And
Okay, so you call it Brother in Arms Security.
Brothers, yeah.
Brothers in Armed Security. Yes. And how long has it been now?
11 years.
11 years.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive because you guys divided what I've noticed about you both. You do what you do, and Martin does what he does. There doesn't appear to be any arguments. You guys got your job duties down.
Yeah.
And it's working out pretty good.
Yes. I do all the field operations. He does all the financing and stuff. So I don't know numbers very well, but I'm pretty good at cracking down on guards and talking to managers and stuff like that. He taught me how to do sales and stuff like that and talk to the managers and clients and stuff like that.
So that was one of my things that the reason we grew pretty fast is because I did do network marketing for a while too. So in order for you to grow, you got to replicate yourself. I took it upon myself to teach Dennis literally door to door. Hey, let's go knock on the door and show you how to get clients. I taught him, some of our ex-supervisors and stuff like that. And it's to the point to where I replicated myself very well on them that they started doing their own stuff and they were picking up accounts pretty fast too. So we were dividing between North County and South San Diego, hitting up different areas, but we literally started door to door.
So, Martin, what did you guys start with? What type of account? Was it residential, multi-housing apartments?
The very first one that we've had was commercial, Ken Grody Ford. I've been with them since, my God, probably like 17 plus years.
Wow.
So the guy there, name is Hector, helped me out for the longest time. He's the one that said, I'll hold on to you, come back because I like the way you work. But we started with that commercial account. We still have it right now. And then from there, I was able to pick up the other 2 or 3 more resident apartment complexes that I worked with prior to this stuff, yeah.
If you don't mind me Tell me your pitch when you go in. I'm just curious. I
All
had
right,
mine
so-
when I went in.
So normally, like when I go into, say, for a new client or whatever, I just go in, I'm like, hey, good morning. I just want to stop by and give you one of my business cards. Oh, really? What do you do? It opens up a question. Oh, we offer courtesy patrol services. I'm pretty sure you currently have a security company you're working with. How do you like the stuff they're doing for you right now? They're doing okay and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. What kind of stuff they're doing for you? Patrol, standing guard. We have patrol. You know how many times they're coming around? No, I really don't know. Are you guys open for a proposal? Yeah, we're always open for a proposal. Okay, cool. So then from there, I'm like, do you mind if I ask you one more question? What is it? What's your guys' current budget right now? You know, about this much money a month. Okay. I think I could do a lot better for you than what they're doing for you right now. Let me shoot it for you, and then we'll talk.
He can squeeze out a budget out of somebody pretty good. So.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
hard. Oh, man. Tell you what.
Yeah, but the other part too, sometimes they're not as truthful as far as you ask. Yeah, amount of hits, right?
Mm-hmm.
They always tell you, oh, I'm getting 5 or 6 hits for $300 a month, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah,
It's crazy.
I get it. Very interesting. Okay, so you guys started as doing the multi-housing, and then it grew to what? More commercial stuff?
No, we've been in nothing but just apartments and stuff like that, yeah.
Apartments. So we only have a couple commercial accounts. We have more multi-housing, condos, HOAs, stuff like that. Then we do commercial accounts. We have a few commercial accounts.
So majority of your bread and butter is all multi-housing,
Yes.
HOA/apartments. That's a tough crowd.
Yeah, very tough. Very tough. And to keep them, we've had contracts since the time we started the business, 11 years. So we have contracts for a very long time. It's just the communication with them, trying to get out there and talk to these clients and taking care of the situations. If they run across a guard having an issue on the property, you take care of it on the spot. You don't just beat around the bush with the clients. You tell them, look, I'll give them a chance. I'll pass it down to you. And then if they don't perform, then we've got to remove them from the property.
Okay, so let's talk about that for the listeners, all right?
Okay.
Let's share those pain points, all right? So what is primarily a lot of the biggest, what are some of the problems what is it you don't like about the multi-housing? What are some of the things that you struggle with when you're dealing with these type of clients?
Basically, just with the clients, I guess they think you're an 8-hour standing guard when you're only doing 3 patrols a night. And we try to maximize as much as we can. Like do a patrol, do 2 hours, do a patrol, do 2 hours, do another patrol. And sometimes they don't understand that there's only so much a guard can do in one night. And we try our best to accomplish what they want us to do at that night and then execute the mission or what we have to do to provide that service they're asking for. And it's sometimes we try not to over-deliver our program. We tell them we try our best. And I think that's maybe why we hang on to our clients too, is we don't over-deliver our message. And with the clients, with the pain, it's just trying to get them to understand that sometimes. They think that we're there a little bit longer than what we intend our contract's supposed to have.
Yeah. The clients you pick up, are you taking any kind of HUD properties, or are you sticking to more high-end resort type
No.
communities? San Diego's good. I mean,
I think there's a new housing law where they have to accept every housing voucher now in California. I think Gavin Newsom passed a law saying that you have to take a HUD from almost everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to take them in, but you have to try to apply for them. I've seen it quite a bit. I've seen on some high-end properties that they get vouchers and stuff. And it makes it hard because you're trying to dictate between are they homeless or not. And they're like, no, it's just the way he is. And I'm just like, you're trying to make your property nice and stuff like that. But then you're allowing people in here that make your community harder for your security companies to control because they haven't been vetted properly or something like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I guess one thing that I can say that's difficult about them too is that a lot of times management, they don't even read the reports at all. And then when something happens, they expect it there. But in reality, I feel like a lot of them don't really understand what is the real issue on their communities. I think a lot of them focus themselves on just the facility lockups and stuff like that. But in reality, there's bigger things in your community dealing with risk management that's going to protect your assets more than making sure that the pool's cleared at 10 or stuff like that. And I think that's one of the things that also me and Dennis a lot of times go up with managers and say, hey, you know what? I understand you got this stuff going on, but your issue's over here. And if we focus on this, we're going to be able to cater to the companies and your residential's needs to make sure that the risk assessment is actually benefiting both of us. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is making sure that somebody doesn't do the dumb stuff that causes a lawsuit and stuff like that. So I think a lot of management is not educated correctly on how to utilize security the right way. A lot of them just think that it's just a random person that shows up and leave. But when you do have issues in your community and we talk about them, we target them, we take care of it, there's a huge change within a matter of weeks. A lot of things can get handled. But they tend to look at the smaller things that for them are more important. But we run into that type of stuff. We made some changes and tell them, look, I know you want us to do it this way, but this is what your property needs.
You bring up a good point. This industry does not have the best reputation. We call it like it is. You guys try to run a really good business. I think we all try. But the gene pool, the DNA, the people we have to hire because they're limited on their budgets, this is what we get. We have our vision. We have how we want to deliver to the client. We sell that, and it's very hard for us. That's what the frustrating part is, because you go and you sell one thing, you try to bring an employee to do that work, and it's difficult. So you got to remember the community itself, especially if it's a HUD property, it's a whole different ballgame. That's why they call them A, B, C, D properties, right? Resort is way different because they have a community and they've got the amenities, they got the pool. They're trying to keep the residents there at home. They're trying to create an environment. That's why they turn it. It's not a tenant.
Right.
That's a resident. It's a homeowner. That's their home. That's the thing they're trying to put across, right? So high-end amenities, barbecue grills. This is a great place to be. Get your mail delivered here, right? Everything's here. Movie theater set up.
Right.
And then security company comes in. They bring their security officers or courtesy patrol into the mix, and they get poor service half the time.
Right. Yes.
A lot of managers are proactive, but they're dealing with multiple vendors, and our industry has it's a lot of companies out there feeding that. Hey, are you happy with your existing courtesy patrol provider? You want to make a change? So they go, okay, great. But whether you guys realize this or not, a lot of it is they're budgeted, but they really don't want to lose their budget either. It's not as if they want to cut their budget, because if they cut it and it doesn't work out, they can't go back and reopen it. It's set up. So they really don't want to cut it. A lot of them, depending on the property management company, again, depending on the property management company, if it's a private owner, he can cut it any time. But when you're dealing with equity residential and stuff like that, they have or other larger portfolio management type companies, they're running like a business. So you just can't cut your budget midstream. It's budget for the year, and that's what you're gonna pay for. But to get back to your question, it's always been my thing too. That's why I developed the software. I was trying to develop a tool that would allow us to do the things that we promised.
Right.
With whatever person's in the field. Make it real simple. 1, 2, 3, take a photo, do this, and it's all set up. Very hard to do. And I think that's part of the biggest frustration with the industry. Like how about this? We'll do your lighting inspections for you. Great. That would really help me out, help the maintenance team. We call our guy 15 times. Hey, here's what we have to do today. What do we get the next morning? A couple good pictures. Really no detail where it was located. He took a picture, but where is that light? It's near building 1. It's on the north side. It's right in the green belt right there. There's no description. So it gets to the point where the manager goes, listen, I appreciate the effort, but we're just going to go ahead and get that back to the maintenance team because it's more confusing for us. So it was just very hard to get there, to go the extra mile and be proactive and be that ambassador, be that partner. I've always expressed that with Silvertrack, and that's why we got into checkpoints and key points of interest so we could give them those quality reports. But again, we still had the gene pool to deal with, and then training and teaching them versus now I'm pretty pleased with the Vision InSites because now AI took us a whole different direction.
Yes.
We won't talk about that right now, but it took us a different direction.
Vision InSites is the simplest, most powerful security guard management software. No long training, no complicated systems. Guards can start reporting in minutes. Train your teams with micro trainings, attaching video to individual checkpoints to walk them through sensitive procedures. Submit accurate reports every time with dynamic observations that automatically rewrite, categorize, and prioritize, removing human error. And grow your business with daily, monthly, and quarterly insights, the most advanced reports available today. Vision InSites, the simplest, most powerful way to report.
So Again, you guys been in this industry now. The multi-housing is one of the most difficult clients to deal with. You got 400 people in a unit, times 2, that's
Yeah.
8, looking at your courtesy patrol officer on the property. You're going to get complaints.
Yes, very much.
And everybody wants a pool lockup at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
So how do you manage that?
The same-
Throw it back at you.
It's just, like you said, it's difficult. You have to, like the clients, everybody wants them at 10 o'clock. And that's what makes it difficult, because then the clients, we try to explain to them that it's between 10 and 11 for them. And we have to try to split it up for them. And some people are like, no, we want it exactly at 10. I'm like, we have 3, 4, 5 other properties that have to be locked up at 10 too. So you guys got to get together and flip a coin or something, because it makes it difficult that you're asking for it. But most of them are receptive about it and understand that there's only so much we can do between 10 and 11 to get these pools locked up. And it's, like you said, it was like a dog barking or something. They want it right away or something. It's, you have to dictate what you going to go out there for.
Yeah. So let me give you my spill on that, on the pool lockups, because that is a battle. And I think everybody should hear this. Maybe this will help them. So when I was doing sales, when I had my company, especially when I had the Silver Track in the very beginning, my pitch was, I understand you want it locked up at 10 o'clock, as the other sister communities want the same thing. Right. Now, the term and the way I'm talking to her, when I say sister communities, she knows that's what they typically say. Right? So she wasn't familiar with the multi-housing industry. So my pitch is, are you currently having a problem? Now, before you say anything, I know you're going to want to say yes, okay? Or, but I don't want any problems, okay? But reality is everybody does want it done at 10 o'clock. So what I do is I try to bounce it around, meaning I'll take the existing routes that we have right now. I'll put you in the middle. We divide it up, right? And then what we do is we pull the report. And whatever problems that we're having, then I could put people in priority. So in other words, if you start to have vandalism or you have a problem, then we're going to put you top of the list. But in order to do that, we have to find out, who are we dealing with? Is it a resident? Is it a visitor, meaning a guest of a resident? Or is it somebody completely that doesn't even live there? It's the Griswolds that want to come use your barbecue in your facility. They don't even live there. But so in other words, we got to find that information out. That's a big issue. Yes. And that's where the parking came in, because now I had people that were registered and I knew who lived there. That's why I even started. That's why I even got involved with parking, is be able to determine who that vehicle belongs to, who that space belongs to, and where do they live. So we could have communication. That'd be our own little record, right? Who am I talking to in the pool area? Yeah. I knew immediately, well, where do you live? Oh, yeah, you do live in that unit. Right. It was a combination of that. So when I spoke that way to the manager, then they're more receptive to saying, okay, I understand that. So when it became a problem, we were able to record and track it. And that's where the reporting side came in. So if that helps you all in the future, I don't know. But especially with Vision now, the idea is to be able to track the problems and then communicate with your managers and then redirect your patrols, which is always hard to do.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Or they end up dividing them up. You have a whole car that just does lockups.
Yes.
But if you're going to do it, you got to bill for it.
I think another thing that's helped out a lot is that we have very good communication with managers. Like Dennis is on it like right away. So we visit them at least once or twice a month, try to see how things are going. But I think that's a huge thing, because at least they know they're talking to an actual person, the actual owner, and not like a middle person. So that's one thing that we realized, that since he started taking over, managers have even said, hey, I like your quick response. It gets handled right away. And before it was more like, we have 24 hours to get back to them. And I was like, no, dude, they want an answer like right away.
Yeah, that's always the case. It's always the case. And then the problem is, if we have to call or wake up a guard, he's not going to go back to sleep.
No.
And then he's worthless when he comes in at night if we have to wake him up. But again, the manager wants the details. Again, that's where I think the reporting and the scope of work is very important when you sit down with a manager. And I said this in the previous podcast, that, hey, when we have that contract with that manager right from the beginning, and you're the sales guy, right? So there's no excuses. Your guy's missing it. You know what you want. You have that clear communication. This is how we operate. This is how we're going to do it. And you have that laid out. So you don't have those surprising calls, and they realize that when there's a problem, it'll be the next day before you respond. If I can get it done earlier, I will. But in the morning, you'll have a response to your question. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a fun business, right?
It's very difficult at times.
I've been telling Dennis, we got to jump into the commercial, bro, because you don't get all these crazy calls to respond to, and I just feel that it's an avenue we need to start jumping into because I feel like it's a lot easier to manage. I'm thinking than dealing with the multi-housing is just, it's crazy.
The multi-housing has been your bread and butter for how many years?
11 years.
It's been 11 years, so that's what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to say? Could you say? You do
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
We do it very well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your family.
Yeah.
That's who you picked up. So when the cousin of the family comes over, you know what to expect. They're going
Right.
to destroy your furniture and leave your dishes dirty. But it's a tough world, but you knew it.
Tough. Yes, very tough.
Okay.
We've been on some very tough properties that they said security companies come and go a lot. And some of those properties we've stayed with for that reason because we really took care of them.
You're doing a good job because if you weren't doing a good job, you would be in commercial already because
Right.
you wouldn't have the retention. And that's why a lot of guys go to the commercial because they realize it's a little more retention. The managers aren't so like living on property. They go
Right.
home after 5 o'clock, right? I realize the community managers do, but that's all changing now too. They're not living on site majority
Yes.
anymore. You got one portfolio manager managing 6 or 7 properties. You got one maintenance guy now, right?
Yeah.
Controlling the other. Literally, I've been told that the maintenance on the property is pretty much off. It's almost, they built like a Home Depot site on the side. They have all their maintenance, all the trucks go there. They pick up their tools, and then they drive to the communities, do the repairs, and come back. They're really streamlining a lot of stuff, especially with AI. When you go in an apartment today, you don't have anybody walking around anymore, right? Pretty much, just go online. Your keys are in the box. Drop them back in, and go look at you yourself. Not all places, but
Yeah.
I know MG Properties is heading that direction.
yeah.
They've already said that one of the managers will be managing 3 or 4 communities from our home.
We have a few
Virtual.
managers that are doing 3 or 4 properties. We have a couple managers that are doing multi-site.
Yeah, but the one I'm talking about, they're actually doing AI. They're actually not even there.
Oh,
they're
I
just literally like at home, nobody in the office.
They even do
appointment only.
tours. Yeah, they do tours through AI. So they just go up there and they just give them the information, and then they allow them to do their tour. I guess through their phone, or I don't know how that works, but they started doing. They don't have a live person doing the touring anymore.
Now, here's the thing with that is once it gets to that point where you're managing a bunch of properties, how are they even going to check the reports?
It's digital.
I know digital,
Yeah.
but it's imagine dealing with 6 communities,
Yeah,
and I don't know.
the
Definitely
oversight's
changing.
gonna be there. Like,
Yeah.
major.
That's why I preach this for forever. And when I built Silvertrack originally, when I used to own Silvertrack, it was all about being able to be a partner, an
Right.
ambassador for them, and give them those reports and key points. But everybody still used it just as an accountability tool. They just said, "We're here." Nobody said what they're doing when they're there. They just
Right.
said, "We're here, and this is what we checked." And you couldn't tell whether they were trained or if they had a problem there. The majority of the time, they'd have to report a new issue. But the bigger thing was scanning a QR code. You read the reports back in the day, just a picture of a QR
Yeah.
code. The manager
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, I guess he got there.
Yeah.
I guess he did the work.
Yeah.
I guess he
Right.
knew what he was doing." And that's old school.
Yes,
So today, the vision
yes,
today is with AI, artificial intelligence, and everything we've put together, 30 years of experience putting that and dialing that in. We built this originally for your clients. I wanted to go back and pick up guard companies and share what we're doing with Vision so you guys can lock in contracts. You guys can get referrals. So let's talk about that for a second. So if we're building this out correctly and we have all the key points of interest dialed in, we have all those checkpoints, we have the training, micro training, telling the security officer exactly what to do. The instruction below the video, the narrative, shows a client that when Dennis comes, here's what Dennis was taught. Here's what Dennis is going to do. If this happens, Dennis is going to do this. See the attached photo. If there's an incident that takes a place, we're going to report a new issue, and you'll see it as a new issue on your report, and then everybody will be notified. So way different from a QR code.
Right.
We just told her
Yes.
exactly what's going on. Now, it's already classified. The system already picks and determines what
Categorizes.
kind of issue
Right.
it's going to be. The location's there. So what does the officer have to do? Watch a training video.
Right.
If it's anything different, he reports it. And how simple is that now? Pick up the phone, talk, take a picture. It's done.
Yeah.
It corrects it. It enhances his note. It's there. The analytics on the backside is where the bread and butter is, because now they can sit and look and go and see all their communities and see which community is their biggest problem, which buildings are their biggest problem, which residents are their biggest problem, which vehicles are their biggest problem, which space is their biggest problem, which pools are their biggest problem, which amenities are their biggest problem. It's all listed now on the analytics. We could never do that before. And this is new to a lot of people, Vision.
Yes.
But again, everybody's just so used to the old ways. This is game changing, and this is our opportunity right now to make a big difference. That's why we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
That's why you guys are we're starting to work together.
Yes.
Have you noticed a difference in us working together? Now,
Yes.
It's been short term as far as with the new software.
Right.
Is it not does it feel like a B12 shot? Hey, we got some opportunity because
Yeah.
don't tell me you get up, you're excited about going to work every morning.
Yeah, it's good. We just got back from an awards ceremony, and quite a few managers, clients, they stated they really liked the program compared to the old way we used to do it. They really liked the analytics of it, the way it looks, more transparency on it. It's clearer than it was. It almost looked like a Word document previously. Like they didn't have the transparency of the reports and stuff like that. Now it's more analytic, more understanding to them. And they really like the program.
Not only that, but the fact that it categorizes the importance of the issue. They don't have to go through the whole page and look for that red spot. Oh, this is what happened last night. But it's in your face in the morning and say, this is what happened in your community. This is how it got handled. So it does make it easier for them to look at the important stuff on their community instead of the everyday stuff.
The daily insights of it, they really like to read that daily insights.
Yeah, insight is good. And then if we set up those key points, those interests, then the insight itself is strictly all the new reported
Right.
issues that they find, right? It's a matter of gathering data. And the best part about it, we don't have to worry about the security officer picking a wrong issue or him determining what it is. The system automatically, and again, that's based on all my years in the industry, all the information we had that we dumped into that AI before, because a lot of people are confused. They think it's like ChatGPT. That is not it.
Yeah.
When you build this thing out, it's going based on all the years' experience, all that data, all that information I had through the years dropped into that program. So when you say, I'm building out an apartment, it's pulling from that. Of course, it enhances a note and does all that stuff. It's called dynamic reporting. And we've only begun with you guys. We're just still going through the training phase where you and I are working together
Yes.
to determine what your clients are doing, and we're rebuilding those properties.
Yes.
And that's where the retention is really going to come in. And my goal is to smile on the faces where, great, go pick up commercial, but you have what you have. You've been doing it successfully for a very long time. You're keeping your clients, which is the most important. The other stuff is not going to go away. Complaints, it's not
It's
that
just
you're running a bad company. That's
Yeah.
just the business.
Yes.
That's what it is. And you
It's like
manage
reading
it well.
a Google review for something.
Yeah.
It's
You
good.
sold chocolates before. You need to go back to your chocolates and say, here's chocolates to remove the bad taste from your mouth.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what you almost have to do at times. It's pretty tough. But
Right.
but tell us what you really like about the industry. Let's talk positive here. What do you really like about the industry?
For me, it's building something that you don't think you could do it, and knowing that it's something that wasn't put in the playbook that you had an idea from going from military to retirement or something, and then you come out here and you do something. It's a challenge. It's rewarding. It's such a challenge for a person to come out and be like, I'm going to run a security company. California has one of the strictest rules out there to be able to run any kind of company for anybody, but security is one of the hardest, and I like the challenge of it. The guards are one thing, but it's just going out there talking to different clients, different aspects, what they expect and stuff like that. I like the challenge of it.
Martin, what about you?
What I like about it is that if you really put your mind to it, there's really no limit to how big you can get. One of my main sentences that I use all the time is that if you're comfortable, you're not growing. If you're uncomfortable, you're growing. So I like to put myself and the company in a situation where we got to figure things out. Something comes on board, we got to figure it out, because at the end of the day, it's beneficial for us. Challenges, yeah, I like that. I like the networking part. I like getting to know people in different places and being able to communicate to the right person, the right stuff, where a lot of times you say, you know what, we like you guys, and we're going to give you the whole portfolio. So it's just the networking part and people getting to know who we are and us getting to know that the average Joe might be the person in charge of 100 communities in his little while. So I like that. I like networking. I like talking, and I like meeting new people. And just the challenges that come through, they're not easy, but they only make you stronger. So I like that.
Okay, and then let's reverse it. What is it you really don't like about it? What do you wish you could change?
I think that personally, me dealing with the finances is management understanding that if they want great pool of guards, there has to be an increase substantially enough for us to be able to, one, make a profit out of it, and two, provide the type of person that's going to be on point when they go to work and stuff like that. I think that's one of the toughest things that at the end of the day, they care about budgets, but also they want to save money on their end. But at the same time, in our end, is you need to shoot us something over here too, because we can't sustain the economy. It goes up every year, and for you guys to say, you know what, well, there's no increase or very little, it's very complicated. I wish they would teach managers the reality of what it costs to operate a security business the legitimate way with all the bells and whistles that are required. It's a lot of money. And one thing that I wish managers would be educated upon is verifying that some security companies even do have a PPO license. This is one of the biggest things that we struggle is people go to the county, they get a regular security license. Managers don't check PPO, they don't check nothing. So that's where, in a way, it affects us because they're the ones that are not paying workers' comp, underneath the table, doing things all the opposite way. And I think the education on the errand to understand what to look for in a security company, I think it'll have a big impact on actually taking into consideration that you're hiring a legitimate company registered with the state versus just a random person that just opened up a security company.
You bring up a good point, but I like to blame the security companies too.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of new ones that are out there, and there's guys that just started that don't have those things. And I wish I could remember the name, but Irvine had this. There's a couple of management companies that contracted that work out to do that background on the vendors because they get busy. They got a bunch of stuff going on. They have to call they don't know who to call. So they contracted that out, and you had to be on that list.
Yes.
That way the manager wanted
Approved.
you to bring it approved.
Yeah.
But going back to the security companies, a lot of it's our own fault. And these guys in the industry need to realize when you go in and you undercut your service, right? And I know you're the only guy driving the car, and you feel, I don't have to worry about my payroll. I'm just trying to make my bills. You're really affecting the industry, and you're hurting yourself later.
Right.
And that's what it's come because
Yeah.
10 patrols for $300 a month, really. Now, I think anybody in a resort type community that's been in the industry that's dealt with the security industry over time realizes that, and I think they're slowly but surely getting away. And that's where some of the bigger companies came in. And they swooped on that for a while because you know what? You need somebody that's reputable, or we know how to run our business. We're obviously a large group. But over time, they were purchasing other security companies.
Right.
And then that service became really no different than anybody else. It was $1 million presentation. After that, you got the same service.
Yep.
And they were also undercutting it
Yeah.
because they could, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going across overseas to get their insurance or whatever,
Right.
how that works.
Yeah.
But it's really, that's been my biggest battle. You guys, quit undercutting each other.
Yes.
You've down a nickel, a dime, a dime, a dime, and look where we're at.
Yeah.
And if you're not providing any quality service, you're no different than, tell me, okay, here's a good one. Right? What makes you different than anybody else? Tell me, okay, your pitch. Are you happy with this? Martin said you came in, are you happy with who you have right now? Of course, you know that question is going to be no. They no show. They don't make their promises. Their guards are junk. But no offense, those guards may have worked for you. They may have worked for somebody else. Same gene pool. That's why I always joke about it. What makes you so special? And then coming in with your stars and bars and, hey, I was a former chief of police. I'm going to change the world. My guard company is going to become completely different. No, because you still have to hire the same people. And then what makes you a better manager? So it's really our own fault.
And it's
in
funny
reality,
bringing that up. We went to the CalSaga thing, and it's like one of the security companies are like, is there any time in the future where the BSIS is going to categorize level 1 security, level 2, level 3? Because we do a better job than a lot of security companies, but since it's just security, it doesn't pull us apart from the other companies.
Martin,
Right.
You guys, there's so many. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I dealt with 2,600 security companies over my 16-year career
Right.
at Silvertrack. I get off the phone, I go in the door. You got to remember, right? I
Yeah.
know a lot of people.
Right.
And guess what? Everybody thinks that they're different than everybody else.
Yeah.
If I brought your competitor in here, you guys would be looking at each other. Who
Right.
are you? It's not an open forum.
Right.
You're not going to church every Sunday and loving on everybody. Everybody's so competitive and so secret, and I hate that guy. He's horrible. That's where I'm trying to go, and it's really we've destroyed ourselves.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're trying to do here. Is we're trying to bring people in, share their stories, and you know what I hear when people watch YouTube? Here's what I hear. Here's what they're telling me. Wow, I didn't know Martin and Dennis had the same problems. But man, wow, they have the same problems I do. And I go,
Right.
yeah, you
Across
do.
the industry.
That's the whole thing. Nothing changes.
No.
So working together is so we could change the industry. And until we start creating change, they're not going to reach in their pocketbook. What value do you bring? The bean counter it has nothing to do with the manager. The manager could love you all day long. But if your reports are crap and you're not providing the service, at the end of the day, they sit down, they do their budgets, and they go, okay, let's talk about the vendors today.
Yeah.
Okay, ABC Security, how they doing? Can I see the reports?
Yes.
What's this mean? Dark. What value is this? They're Martin and Dennis are really nice. Martin brings me chocolates, and Dennis calls me every morning. I don't care what they bring you. Bagels and cream cheese. And by the way, you may want to cut back on those. But here's the deal: you guys aren't providing the service.
Right.
What can we do? It's numbers games.
Right. Yeah.
So it's value.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? We talk about partners, being a partner,
Right.
or being a vendor. Vendors don't get paid on time. So if you're not getting paid on time, chances are you're a vendor, which means you're doing the minimums. You just think, a lot of guys just think, and here's my passion, here's my PTSD, right? You guys sit down with the manager and find out the details. If the manager's not proactive, then maybe you don't want her because maybe she's not around.
Right.
Go on her LinkedIn profile, go on his LinkedIn profile. I'm not just naming male or female here. Go on their profile and look at them. Have you ever thought about that? Go to the manager, LinkedIn's open, and do your background on your manager. And you'll see, Debbie's wonderful. Debbie's proactive. She was the best manager in the world. She kept the communities full. She cares about her residents. She cares about her vendors.
Right.
Sounds like a pretty good client, right? Versus somebody that just took the job, that isn't proactive, that isn't on LinkedIn. You kind of know what you're going to get into.
Right.
Yeah.
Your Karens, you call it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And what's the guy's name? I don't want to just throw it at women,
Bob's,
but
I don't know.
Bob's or whatever. Okay. But you see where I'm going.
Right.
So if we sit down in the middle and when you make that commitment, your relationship, you're going to get married with her. You're going to get married. So here's the rules.
Right.
Here's what we're going to do. Here's my promise to you. You write it, you sign it down, you make sure it's in writing so you can show it because everybody forgets,
Right.
right? You have to have it. Then you bring it back to your team. You try to deliver it to the best you can. And now you have the tools. We have the tools now, especially with Vision, to deliver that message
Right.
and be a very good partner with a D player gene pool guard if it came right down to it. Now, when we go to robots, which is probably soon.
Yes.
Hey, great. But we've actually turned into robots now. And you have all the years of experience here sitting at the table, especially mine as long as I've been in it, to build out that multi-housing. That's my world.
Yeah.
That's where he started. That's where Silvertrack was built originally. And now we've taken all that and we've incorporated it into Vision. Nobody has that. Nobody has 30 years experience into an AI program. It's not changing the narrative, like I said before. So this is our opportunity to go in and really be a terrific partner. And my passion, my excitement, I want you guys to feel too. Hopefully you see that direction. And
We're just tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. You just brought up a good point about, me and Martin always get into it every year about what has a guard did to provide an increase for these clients and stuff. And every time it's always a fight about it. About, no, we got to do this percentage or that percentage. Like, how can we dictate how much we can increase them when our guard's just been a complete screw up? And like you said, having a program that allows you to do certain things, you can give it to them and say, you know what, my guard's this stellar guy now. It has to do with the industry. That's just, we're just going to put them out there because of their budget or something like that.
You'll be able to bring value with this software.
Bring up value.
For them to actually see, oh, wow, this is what's going on in my community. And I think that's, again, innovation. You're bringing something new to the table that has to justify asking for that increase because now you're providing them data, information regarding stuff that before they were not even aware was happening. And I think, obviously, Vision is the way where you'll be able to show them what's really going on in their community and saying, look, this is an example. We reported all these lights out right here. Somebody could have tripped. We save you risk management right there on your end, making sure that the property is where it needs to be. So you're opening up their eyes to stuff where it's obviously something that before they might not even thinking about.
And that's what we've had it, like where clients come out and they'll just have 365 reports and they're like, what have you done for us to make this better or make our community better in some way? And that's how, like you said, with the program and stuff, it's going to make the guard look better and understand your property better. It's going to help them out.
Yeah, that's why a lot of guys don't ask for increases because they know their service is lacking. You're scared to ask for an increase. You ask for an increase, you're expecting you to get a 3-day, or not a 3-day, a 30-day notice, and that's why they don't. And then they don't have that in their contract in the beginning because they're not confident about the service that they have, and that should be in your agreement right there in the very beginning. So it's not a problem.
Right.
So that is a big issue. And again, with Vision on that side, there is a lot on the analytics. This isn't just a bunch of a pie chart or to tell you how many times we did your pull lockup. We're talking about some really good analytics full scale parking, security, maintenance, all combined, full reporting. And yeah, that is going to keep the retention.
Yes.
Steven, I didn't read that.
Oh, sorry, 1 hour.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I couldn't read that thing. Sorry. All right. Sorry for the editing. But this is the time where we want to try to change that. And that's the goal, again, with this podcast, inviting people such as yourself to let everybody know that, hey, we're all going through the same issues, same problems. Let's go out and do better for our clients. There's plenty of work
Right.
out there.
There's a lot of work.
And
Yes.
don't get scared with all the technology, the cameras, the AI. Everybody's thinking, hey, the industry. No. As long as I've been in this industry, when the economy gets great, the business gets great. When the
Right.
economy gets poor, guess what? This business even gets better.
Yeah.
So it's bulletproof on that end.
Yes.
So let's concentrate on the customers. Be truthful. Quit undercutting. You guys, quit undercutting your customers. Create value. Because they're
100%.
getting smart. They are.
Right.
Customers, it's not going to go on forever. And with the new tools that we have now, you won't be able to do that anymore.
Right.
Okay? You won't be able to go in and edit the reports you want, take a picture of your QR code and just drop it in and say, oh, I was there. That's not going to work anymore.
Right.
Where it's going, the clients want more for their money. They're not there anymore. Okay? They don't have time to look at the cameras in the property to see if you showed up in your patrol car. Be truthful. You're going to get caught. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
And if you can lay your head on your pillow every night and go, oh, I'm doing great, and you want to fake it till you make it, great. But at the end of the day, you're not going to sell anything. You're not going to have anything to sell, because if you ever plan on selling your business, it's all about retention. It's all
Right.
about your team.
Right.
And if your team's half cocked and your retention's every 3 months you're losing an account, I don't care if you got 3,000 accounts.
Right.
If that's the way you're conducting business, that investor is not interested. They want to see long-term stuff. And everybody gets confused. They think, I'm going to sell my business someday. There's more to it. I've done it.
Right.
A lot more to it. So let's get business. I appreciate you guys joining me on this venture. I think
Yes, sir.
we're aligned, right?
Yes.
And vision is the hope, and not just because of the software, trying to move the software, is that we have a tool.
Right.
Tell me if I'm wrong. We have
Yeah.
a tool right now. This is a freak of, this happened by accident.
Yeah.
Okay? You guys realize that, right?
Yes.
This vision thing happened by accident. And you have no idea what's coming in January 2026. It's even going to get way better. We're way ahead of the industry. I appreciate you guys joining me on that venture and being a client, of course, and I want to keep this communication. We talk weekly. Dennis, you and I have
Yes.
been talking obviously more, but I like spending my time with people that, that care. It's a 50-50 relationship. That's another thing I bring up. You could bring to your clients too. We're 50-50, okay? Meet in the middle. Good. I appreciate you guys coming to the podcast. I'm definitely going to want to have you back shortly.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So we can see how you're progressing with
Yes,
what
sir.
we're doing together, working together, and how your business is going. And then maybe we can start going towards the commercial properties. Maybe I can show you how to go down that realm. But we got to get the parking to line too.
Yes.
Yes.
That's coming, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Appreciate having us on and everything.
No, appreciate you guys coming. Martin, thank you for coming too.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here and let us express how we feel about this industry that we're in. But we don't talk about it. Nobody knows what goes on out there. So thank
No.
you for the opportunity.
No, absolutely. And Dennis, same thing. Appreciate it again, you coming and sharing your heart and being humble. And thank you for your military service. 4 years in Afghanistan. I had no idea. Shame on me. But thank you for doing that. It means a lot to
Yes, sir.
everybody.
I appreciate your law enforcement. So appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks much.
Yes, sir.
Comment, like, share, and subscribe.